west. First hole is 440.
Rich, this certainly isn't a drive and a wedge. Some good bunkering down there. Most players will just sort of look at that bunker that's mid-decent length for that second shot ahead of you.
This is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par. Rich, I thought he could get this close.
That just is amazing. Just a mind blower right there. Absolutely incredible. He made the shot. Frank, the second hole is only 371 yards. What's the challenge here?
The bunkering. This is really well bunkered. You'd expect that for a hole this short. If it's well bunkered, it means that it's vital to get it on the fairway. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
And it looks like Rory McILROY, Frank, sticking the follow-through. Second shot for Miguel Angel Jimenez.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Has it for another birdie. 2 holes, 2 birdies. Moving to the third hole, to par 4 again. This one 471 yards. Frank, this looks to be the kind of approach shot here at number 3 that a high-level professional would like to hit.
We don't see as many guys cut the ball as what we used to in the sort of Lee Trevino days. So really the modern-day player likes to hit the ball right to left, and this is a second shot that certainly suits that.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, just seemed to baby it.
He'll need to be strong with this. Wow, what a shot.
What are the chances of making it from there?
Frank, we're not at the beach. We're in the California desert, but I'm staring at plenty of sand right here.
Yeah, looks can be deceiving here. This is where somehow you do have to focus on exactly where they put the flag, and that's on the green stuff. Green is 36 paces deep. If you can just focus on that and don't let Pete Dye's sort of weirdness with all that snaking bunkers left and right, then just try and approach it as a straightforward par 3. I know it's easy to say, hard to do.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. Boy, this would be nice. A 4th consecutive birdie. Heating up.
I'm running out of fingers.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the course.
Nice par to remain 3 under. Frank, this looks like a fun hole. The first par 5 of the day, 535-yard fifth.
Yeah, as long as you've got something that doesn't go left off the tee shot and doesn't go right off the second shot, you'll be fine.
Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
No fairway here. This one in that rough. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait, and at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par. Hazard.
Maybe wet. Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him.
Settles in over the putt. Drops another birdie and moves to 4 under on the day. 3, water everywhere you look. This is a real test.
It's called Amen, and whatever religion that you subscribe to, you better say a prayer before this one.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that. Second shot.
Frank, still relatively early in the round, but given what we've seen so far, this could be a heck of a golf round.
Yeah, right now, everything's just going according to plan. It's like he's playing on all 8 cylinders. So really, you're just trying to get out of your own way.
He has made plenty of these in his distinguished international career. Miguel Angel Jimenez, showing no signs of weakness. That's a good putt right there. Stays at 4 under. Frank, this is like a big water park here at PGA West. We saw it at the 6th, and here again at the 7th, a challenging par 4, 346 yards.
I've never, ever seen anyone try and drive this green. So it's just a layup. See the bunker down there in the distance? That really is the stop sign. So something that's short of that, but really what I prefer is try and lay up on a nice number. Something that you got a full shot in, whether that be a 9-iron or an 8-iron or a wedge. You'd like to have a full club in here.
So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got away a little bit on that tee ball. And setting up here in the rough. Not terrible, but not his best.
Outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
On the way. And he has it, Frank.
I don't believe it.
555-yard par 5 eighth hole. Frank, is this a two-shotter or a three-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Setting up for the approach, this player in total command.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The decision-making, club selections being spot on, but the execution, the swing, is really what I'm admiring right now.
In the thick stuff.
Thick, it's brutal out there.
Playing his third here at the par 5. Frank in a bit of trouble here at the par 5, missing the green on that third shot.
You're just battling to make par, and this is going to be difficult.
That's how the best in the world play it, Frank.
Well, I'd say a little lucky that it went in, but it was always going to be close.
Frank, the ninth hole, a par 4 measuring 452 yards. This is no picnic.
This is the toughest tee shot on the front side. The easy way to bail out down the left side, it might appear that way off the tee, but then it becomes a zigzag hole where it's very easy to clock up something like a 6. The bunker down that right side, just 300 yards to get past the right side, the bunker just might save you from going in the water. But there's no question, the best drive is down the right, but it's the most dangerous one.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Well, he'll have to get up and down from the bunker to save his par. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Setting up to start the back 9 here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank Hill will be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. And it is not looking like a good lie. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Well, at least he can draw on the experience from the previous hole. Again, in the bunker. Routine stuff here, Frank, from the bunker?
You just got to be careful of that lip in front of him with his third shot coming up.
About 25 feet from the cup. Miguel Angel Jimenez with the putt. Oh my goodness, that is amazing. Just a sensational putt. Well, we've arrived at our third par 5 of the day here at PGA West. It is the 11th. It is nicknamed, appropriately, Eternity. 617 yards. Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
And from the fairway for his second shot here. This is the third for Jimenez. This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
NASA, we have a splashdown. Still going, and going the wrong way. This is the 5th shot after that previous one went into the drink. Frank, this is one you don't practice, but sometimes you have to do it. Time for the drop.
Yeah, it should be the easiest shot in golf. You've just paid for it.
Well, too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
Frank, you always talk about it. Don't compound the mistakes. Well, here we are, another shot from the rough.
And this one no easier than the one he's just hit.
How about that shot right there from that lie in the rough to knock it that close? That's good. Locked in on the read and the speed. That puts them at 4 under for the round. Frank, Pete Dye always gets a player thinking what might be going through a player's mind right here.
You're going to play it as a layup. You know, that's a given. It's just what distance you want. And for every distance you're going to hit it off the tee, Pete Dye gives you a different challenge. If you lay it all the way back, obviously you've got the widest fairway. Then you've got the longest second shot. Get a little closer, it starts to shrink up, shrink up, shrink up. So it's how much do you want to bite off?
Just an ideal lie, Frank. What can he do from here?
Well, if he takes advantage of the tee shot now and goes at this flag, then he'll certainly gain on the field.
Frank, another good scoring opportunity here at the par 4 12th.
Yeah, just have to focus on where that flag is in relation to these little ridges and the mounds on this green. It's called moat because it's protected all by that wall of sand down that left side. That's not really in play for this shot. If you're smart, use one of those little ridges. They can kick it towards the flag.
Moving a little left of the flagstick, Frank. Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Miguel Angel Jimenez has this for birdie. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the cause.
Four under on the day. Now teeing off here at the par 3, 13th. We have a couple of hundred yards to this flagstick. Frank, this is just a pleasure to watch. A player hitting on all cylinders at the top of his game.
Notice it's just flowing too. There's not a lot of deep analysis going through his mind. Just one step in front of the other. If your swing's there, you don't have to find it. If your putting stroke's there, you don't have to find it. Just let it happen.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up.
It's that sneaky distance.
Hard putt, soft hand, beautiful putt. Now another short par 4. It's only 389 yards. But Frank, where could a player go off course, so to speak, at this 14th?
Well, this is a hole where you have to play your own game. If you're a longer hitter, I think you can challenge that bunker and knock it over there. And if you're shorter player, you should be only looking at that left side. You're always going to feel like you've left something out there on a hole like this. You always think you could have done the other option. But this is where you've got to stick to what you think is your game plan.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. So he has that for bogey. I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the 11th hole seems to have shaken his confidence. Par 4 15th measuring in at 468 yards. Frank, it makes the game easy when you play it from the fairway.
Especially when you play it from a lie like that.
Now the approach here at 15. Well, this one is offline just a bit. Look out. That one is going to end up in the rough. You have to think he'll be happy with that, given that it looked like it was headed right for the rough.
Yeah, it looked like that was the only place it was going to finish. But, well, it's a little bit unexplainable. Let's see what he does from here now. Lucky break.
This one has a good line. Oh, yeah, he's going to love that one, Frank. Sensational effort.
Oh, just eat that up.
Frank, this could be an exciting and pivotal point in the round, the par 5 16th.
Especially if the player decides to have a go here. If you're going to take it on a direct line, then you've got to carry all of that bunker complex. But then the other thing to realize, what's the worst thing that can happen? Just in the bunker, right? It's worth a go. Either that, hit it down the right side. There's no way you're going to reach this par 5 and 2.
That one is just a little offline, and that will not end up in the fairway. Ends up in the first cut, and he'll have a pretty good look at the whole location from here. So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
That will be a great look at birdie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Well done. Back-to-back birdies. So, Frank, you arrive on the tee box. What are you thinking here as you look out at the hole they call Alcatraz, par 3 17th at 168 yards?
Well, we've seen it all here, Rich, from that hole-in-one that Lee Trevino had in the Skins game all the way back in 1987 to people splashing away left, right, and center. No advice here. You can see what's in front of you.
Hoping to get this up and down here, Frank, at the par 3 after missing the green.
Yeah, it's not all bad.
That is professional with a capital P right there.
That's stealing.
Pretty good frame of mind. If not, you have to be thinking, oh, here we go again. Water left. I mean, you could shoot 100 out here on this golf course if you don't have your best stuff.
Yeah, this is another example of, you're right, if you've got the bad mojo going, this is not the hole you want to be playing. Water left, bunkers right. Somewhere in between, though, this fairway. After that good tee shot, Rich, it's time to take full advantage of it.
And this is one where he can really go after the whole location and maybe think about making birdie. Here's the colorful Spaniard, Miguel Angel Jimenez, with the approach shot. Oh, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hazard.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
He'll need to be strong with this. No way! He hold it, Frank.
Great pitch up.
Frank, solid effort today. What's your assessment?
Golf like that can certainly result in wins, that's for sure. But more importantly, the opportunity to get one.
One great hole after another here at PGA West. The finishing hole, no exception. Frank, what can we expect here?
Great finishing hole. It's amazing. If you took the three bunkers we're first going to see down the right side, this would almost be a nothing hole. But because they're perfectly situated here, they really shrink up that driving area down the left side. And this is just a reward for a great swing, a great strike, a great shot.
Presented by EA Sports in association with the PGA Tour. Hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. Frank, we've arrived at one of the more unusual golf courses in the United States. We're in the state of Washington, Chambers Bay. What's it all about?
Well, apart from the scenery, Rich, which is magnificent, this is a walking golf course, so it's a chance to get out there, strut your stuff, and see if you got a game to match.
It's a links golf course. We think of links golf. We think of the home of golf in Scotland. Here we're in the northwest part of the United States, though.
Yeah, but Scotland's, well, it's transferred a little piece of land all the way across the Atlantic.
That was just a beautiful drive and hit it solid and right in the middle. Now the approach here at hole number 1, and Frank, what are we looking at?
Well, semi-blind, but it's fine. You know, just a little peek and you can see what's in front of you. Really no bunkers down the left side. If you do miss down there, a little chip back up the hill, but it's a big enough green.
This is the third for Jimenez. Solid play, heart of the green. Settles in over the putt. Even par early on. Ready to tee off here at the second. Frank, what's it all about?
Well, you hit your tee shot here through the dunes, Rich, not overly long, just under 400 yards. The bunker on the left really shouldn't be a problem. Just avoid the dunes on the right and left. That was terrible. This is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par. Rich, you know, after you've already made one mistake in the rough, there's a chance he's going to make another.
Just trying to get it back out into the fairway and not make a big number. Wow, Frank, he did well just to get it on the green from that lie.
I didn't think that was doable.
Jimenez has this one for par. What a beautiful roll right there. Dead center. At the third tee now, Frank, and what are we staring at here?
This green is anything other than symmetrical, so be very, very cautious on where the flag is. Anything in the middle of the green you can putt to the corners. Well, if you can call them corners. More like ragtails, but beautiful par 3. Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. These putts keep the round together. And so just getting started, even par so far. Frank standing here on the fourth tee at Chambers. All that sand down on the right. A lot of trouble here.
Yeah, first hole, Rich, really that bends to the right, but if anything, you want to keep the tee shot down the left side. It's going to give you a better angle to the green. And unlike the two previous holes, this fairway slopes to the other direction, to the right.
Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
Second shot for Miguel Angel Jimenez. Headed for the bunker? Not what he wanted, but he's headed to the beach. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now he'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? One of the game's most lovable characters, Miguel Angel Jimenez, has this for par. Oh, I thought he had that. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Not what he had in mind when he stepped to the tee, but it would be just one drop shot. This for bogey. 1 over for the day. Well, Frank, here at the 5th, and I'm not sure about my chances at a hole that's called free fall. I mean, are you kidding?
Well, should be free fall for you, that's for sure, and free fall for a lot of people playing it today. Hole looks straight away, but you'll see it starts to pinch in, that fairway that is, by bunkers left and right, and those bunkers come in exactly where you're trying to hit your tee shot.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag. Let's see what they do from a good lie in the fairway, 180 yards to go. Now his third, staring right at the green.
Not a problem there, Rich.
Drops for a par. Ready to tee off here at the 6th. Frank, where are you looking to land the ball off the tee here?
Well, as long as it's not in the rough, the bunkers, well, there's no trees here, really. That little green strip, that runway down there, another hole that bends to the right, but find the fairway. The fairway's wide enough. You've got a pretty good idea exactly where you want to go. And once again, this is one of the shorter par 4s. So good drive here, just a short iron in.
Now the approach shot here at the 6th at Chambers Bay, and what's the key, Frank?
Well, I think it's a fun second shot, Rich. Too often people just look at the yardage and they blaze away, but really, if you wanted to play this hole as the Scots want to play the game, and when the pin's at the back, you'd hit a low running shot that bisects those two bunkers.
Terrific golf shot, and now that for an easy birdie. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. So with a mate, moves to even par. On the 7th tee now, it is over 500 yards from the back tee.
Yeah, this is called humpback, and you can see why. There's all those mounds and undulations between you and the hole, plus all that amazing bunkering down the right side. All to be avoided, really. If you can do that, then you get a decent look at this green. But yeah, you've mentioned it, 500 plus yards. It's going to play longer than that uphill.
This looks to be at least an extra club, maybe 2 clubs going way up that hill to the green. That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
Now one of the best personalities in the game, Miguel Angel Jimenez, ready for his approach. Miguel Angel Jimenez for par. Still playing even for the day after the par. Now to the 8th and a long par 5, Frank.
Fortunately, there's no bunkers, just the dunes either side. The hole looks a little narrow off the tee, but get down there, you're going to realise that's a fairly generous fairway. There's a little bit of mounding in this green, too, that actually slopes it back towards the player. So use that to your advantage.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Third shot, looking for a good one. Safely aboard. Locked in on the read and the speed. Has it, and that is birdie number 2 for the round. Frank, the 9th hole, called Olympus. And that is very grand sounding, like something that...
You're talking Greek god here, aren't you? Come on, this golf course is for the mere mortals, Rich.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Looks like he just misread that. Miguel Angel Jimenez for par. Misses the putt here, has to try again and add another stroke to the scorecard. Just a couple of feet. So with that, the score is now at even par. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo playing Chambers Bay out in the state of Washington in the great northwest of the United States. Frank, let's take a closer look now at the 10th hole.
Well, you can see where you've got to go by virtue of the dunes left and right. This is one of the few greens that is well bunkered around, so you can see it short, short right, short left, and there's another little bunker just on the left side. So it's a tricky little second shot coming in here.
Frank, it appears as though this approach shot here at the 10th is fairly straightforward.
It is. You've got a flat green, so you're not really worrying about mounds or bounces here. And really, this is, with a short iron in hand, this is one of those ones you just green light, you go straight at the flag here.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Well, that's just a poor putt, Frank, and now let's hope he doesn't make Michael Dublé.
He's hardly going to be singing after that one.
Just like that, with a bogey, goes from level par to one over. Well, here we are at the 11th. Frank, this...
Too, there's that big dune in the middle of the fairway, and it's sort of a bit daunting. You're not quite sure what's behind that. Well, what is behind that is actually fairway. And just carry it over there. That'll certainly shorten the hole up. And then from there, it's a little bit of a dogleg to the right.
Frank, that golf ball's sitting up like a red velvet cake in a bakery. It looks pretty, doesn't it?
Time to take a bite of it. Savor it. Hit the next one close.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
And he's made it onto the green now. He has made plenty of these in his distinguished international career, Miguel Angel Jimenez. He'll take par and move on. The 12th here at Chambers Bay is known as the Narrows. What's the play here, Frank?
Two, really. You could just sort of iron it down there, have a little wedge or a pitch in there with no sweat whatsoever. Or, if you want to have a little bit of fun, if you can drive it over that bunker that's just short left of this green, you might just putt for an eagle. This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. Looking to splash this softly onto the green. Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
But he's been doing this a long time, all over the world. Making birdies, Miguel Angel Jimenez.
Oh, that was nasty.
That's an outrage right there. I mean, if there's a high commission of golfdom, we need to consult them right now because it's just simply not fair, Frank. It's not.
I think the people above are frowning on the people below.
13th hole now. It's a dogleg right, par 4. Frank?
But at 534 yards, you need an eagle eye, which is the name of the hole, to find exactly where you want to hit this. Doglegs to the right. There is a fairway that's plenty wide to accept a good tee shot. And then from there on in, it's actually a relatively straightforward second shot, providing you can miss that bunker that's just short in the middle of the green. What a great shot. Oh, it's fine.
Frank, the USGA was determined to hold a U.S. Open in the state of Washington. It had never hosted one before.
And it's determined, too, to go to sites that are more natural. We saw that with Pinehurst in 2014, the restoration by Corin Crenshaw, and we're seeing it with Chambers Bay. These are golf courses, I think, that any level of players can go out and play, rather than the US Opens of the sort of the 80s and the 90s that were just so stringent. I mean, it's sort of miracle putt.
This is a pretty long putt here. You'd be happy to get this to within 2 or 3 feet. You really want to take the stress out of that next putt. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. This one just requires a little bit of focus. Well, Frank, he'll drop at least one shot here. That was not his best effort.
No, poor is the easiest way to put that. He knows it.
So 2 over par for the round. Frank, this is the 5th par 4 in a row, and they're not easy. This one here at 14, really a daunting tee shot.
It is. That's why it's called Cape Fair. A true Cape hole in golf, Rich, is when you've got to decide how much you want to bite off when you hit across a slight dogleg. And this one, really, you're going to be rewarded the further left you can go. There is one little bunker in the middle of the fairway that you have to avoid. That's going to be 320 or so yards off the tee. This hole, 546 yards, you're going to see a variety of second shots, or the length of second shots here, determined purely by the bravery of the tee shot.
Frank, this ball's in the rough. Anything you change in your technique when a ball's sitting down a little bit?
Yeah, you put the ball back a little bit further in your stance because you're going to get a bit of grass between the ball and the club face. So you have to allow for that and keep that club moving. That grass is going to be that grass is going to create a certain amount of resistance.
Number 1 goal accomplished, Frank. He is out, and he is headed for the green.
It didn't appear like too bad a strike either.
Well, the stats say that is a green hit in regulation, but it's not yet a par on the card. Very tough putt coming up. Frank, you hear it so often. This is a game of dealing with your miscues.
That's the beauty of this game of golf. It giveth and it taketh away.
Not his best effort right there. That's a bogey, and now 3 over. At last, Frank, a break from those long par 4s. We just played 5 par 4s in a row. Now the par 3 15th.
And also, as you can see in the distance, you can actually see a tree, one of the few that are on the golf course. Hence the name of 15, it's called Lone Fir. Not overly long, just a little short hole. But in a US Open, obviously they can play it at around 250 yards. It's just a fun par 3. But check where that flag is, because sometimes 3 is a good score here. But an easy flag position, and then go straight at it.
That was a good run right there. Almost went in.
At least he's seen the line as it went past the hole. So just replicate that on the way back.
3 over for the day. Getting set to take on the finishing holes here at Chambers Bay. How do you do it in the right way, Frank?
Well, when you look down this fairway, obviously everything slopes left to right. That makes this hole actually play a little bit more of a dogleg to the right, even though it doesn't look it. And then, of course, that green up ahead, it's like a tabletop. So precision here is absolutely paramount.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just the lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Getting bounced around today, you think the winds have been a factor?
There's no question that's been the biggest problem for the players right now, but still, it's playable. It's not ridiculous. It's not unplayable out there.